Welcome back everyone to Let's Play War on the Sea as the US, episode number 13. Everybody lost their orders, but I've gone ahead and given them all orders again. The only exception to this, thank goodness, is the submarines. For some reason, these three submarines have orders every time I load up, but nobody else does. So this was just an opportunity for me to review everyone's orders, and that doesn't seem like that bad of a thing, although, I still don't like the fact that it's a game bug which forces me to do so. The Triton we are sending into the slot. I want to emphasize this because this is, a lot of people have recommended this. I think it's a very sensible decision. In fact, I want to, with our 6 command points, begin getting another. Let's get the Gato class though. The namesake herself out first, I guess. So we're going to start sending another submarine ahead, kind of preemptively. I'm expecting that either I will lose my submarine or she will need resupply, because she's probably going to encounter a lot of stuff very quickly, which means either lots of torpedoes are going to go out or, depth charges are going to come in. One of the two. In either of those cases, we're going to want a replacement submarine to guard the slot or to help recon there, if nothing else, at least do some recon. So I'm sending Task Force 5 to meet Task Force 6. This is the Enterprise. Again, we're going to do the destroyer swap because the Fletcher and the Radford, I wonder, do you have the ability to take a look at ordnance on the fly? I know that it is modeled. I guess I could go into the tactical map and see, but that's a little too much work for me. So anyways, we know that these two destroyers have not done nearly as much as far as ASW goes, and we know for sure that these two are almost out of depth charges. So we'll send them back with the Enterprise to replenish. And this maneuver is also going to keep the Enterprise in range for a little bit longer, which is nice. The dive bombers are heading back. Avengers are actually headed out to try to put an extra damage onto this, the remains of this convoy. The two heavy cruisers that's showing here, I guess that's an outdated thing or something, because those are the two I guess we sank, right? Unless there's two convoys here. A little bit confusing. Now, it is afternoon. It is, 1500. And it'll take this group, I guess I'll redo their orders real fast so you can see it. So we're going to pull a page right out of the Japanese playbook, and we're going to attack Guadalcanal at night. So you can see it'll be about 6 hours from now, which is just about 9 o'clock at night when we'll get in, and then we'll patrol around, and because there's no air bases here, there's actually nothing to stop us from continuing to patrol there. So if you've been kind of hankering to see some surface combat, I guess it's coming. I don't see any way we can avoid surface combat putting our cruisers right in the mouth of the enemy. I really do hope that our convoys, Task Force 7, these guys keep losing their orders too, and I hope that they haven't been slowed down by that. Anyways, we're going to continue to send them home. I really want to get them back out, and I am going to go for capture of one of these four. In fact, I don't really even have to think about which one we're going to capture. I could just send them out with troops and supply first, claim the base, and then we can run supplies afterwards, probably even with a second convoy. So that said, let's also do one other thing before I unpause. This will be a little bit of an intro. We all, finally, at long last, I'm going to look at the losses. This is a nice, by the way, overview of our different bases. We know that Rabaul is the main Japanese base. I do say this one pretty incorrectly very often. This is something I'm aware of. It just doesn't roll off the tongue the way I think it should. So I say it New Hebrides, but it's more Hebrides, or something like that. So Hebrides. We'll try to say it that way, and then people will no doubt correct me in the comment section again, and we'll keep adjusting course as such. Anyways, the thing everyone really wants to see, or at least several people want to see, is the losses to date. So as the Americans, we've only lost 22 aircraft. Now that's a lot of aircraft, but you have to take into consideration that losing only 22 aircraft in a carrier, full carrier action, sending all your planes out, if the Enterprise was sending all her planes out against Japanese targets and they lost 22, this would not be an unreasonable number. It might be a little bit on the higher side, but for just a single engagement, it's not unfathomable. So in the course of 3 days, now the campaign actually starts on August 7th. It's kind of amazing to me. I guess we are moving really slow, but It's amazing to me that we've only gone 3 days. And that's the real kicker. In 3 days, the Japanese Navy has lost 30 ships to the total of 190,000 tons. They've also lost 15 aircraft, so our aircraft losses are actually comparable. To say that our ship losses are comparable is obviously an absurd statement. They've lost infinitely more than us, since we've not lost a single ship. Now, they lost 3 B-1s and 3 B-2s, if my counting was correct. Yeah. So that's 6 submarines. So 6 of their 30 are submarines. I don't remember how many are destroyers. Let's see, merchants. They've lost 3 normal. Are those the 4 merchants, 5 merchants, and 3 oilers? 6 merchants. So they have lost 6 merchants and 3 oilers. The biggest one is their heavy cruiser losses. So I think they've only lost the 2 light cruisers here, by the way, the Kuma and the Sendai. I don't think we've sank any other ones, but Tone. We'll start keeping track of count now. So 1 for the Tone, 2 for Aoba, 3 another Tone, 4 a Mogami, 5 a Takao, and I think there's 2 more. 6 for the Aoba and 7 for the Furataka. So they've lost 7 heavy cruisers. Now, if you're aware of the situation for the Japanese historically at this time, they had in the high teens, I think somewhere between 15 and I want to say 18, 17, something like that, heavy cruisers. That's just not that I would know that, but just because studying this time period, look for this for this stuff. We'll begin to unpause as well. Anyways, 7 heavy cruisers is a third of the Japanese cruiser force at that time, more than a third. So it's just, this is in 3 days, just really, really, really bad losses. Not something that they would be. I mean, the Japanese would be completely rethinking their naval strategy at this point. So it looks like there are 2 heavy cruisers. Okay, well that is interesting. We're gonna try to continue to get a scout off. I wonder if I should try to scout. No, we'll just go this way in the usual fashion. So we already know our target for the Avenger. Actually, let's do a little bit of scouting. So this appears to work, the waypoints now. Let's see if that's true. Wait, I heard something. Enterprise is ready to launch. That is something we want to take advantage of, because before it gets to be nighttime, we want to launch these Dauntlesses one last time. One last time into the breach, my friends. Once more into the breach. We'll get them into this area as well. I'm expecting to find more ships over here, but okay. 1 destroyer and the 2 heavy. Okay, this is the strike where I almost sank the heavy cruiser. As far as I remember, my Avengers are kitted out with high explosive, which means all of these are going to be doing. Now, I might be cheesing the dive bombing thing. I don't want to cheese it too much, but I'm kind of fighting fire with fire here. From my perspective, the AI is clearly not concerning itself at all with command points. Considering we've sunk, I mean, just if you only look at the fact that we've sank 7 heavy cruisers, that's approximately, like, what would it be? It would be like 150 points. What's our sum total of all the ships we have? You know, I mean, added up, and it should be only like 350 or so. And we've been sinking ships, so we've been earning our command points kind of fairly. But anyway, I mean, I'm fighting fire with fire in the sense that it almost seems like you have to cheese the AI because the AI is cheesing you. So, I don't know who I should go for here. The merchant ships are, I think, a higher priority in order to prevent the islands from being too heavily fortified. Okay, let me do this. Why don't I just send my Avengers in against this group, and actually I'm going to set the course. I want to make sure I don't pull in the other group. That's going to be the goal. Okay, go to the tactical map. So we're just going to do some level bombing. This is going to be high altitude cheesy bombing, so apologize for that. But I mean, then my Avengers, they are kitted out with high explosive. We really can't do anything else. Okay, let's see where we're going. So yeah, we'll do something like this. And I will speed up time. Let's also see what we're up against here. I want to say... Oh, is that a Mogami with the leading turret? I will eventually get better at recognizing these. It is. It is a Mogami. Huh. So target you, classify you as Mogami. So we can actually see I've sank one Mogami, and the Makuma is unavailable. We also have here, looks like a Furataka? Yeah. So those are those two. Merchant ships are pretty easy. Yeah, so I think what I'll do... Oh, we only have 3. So this is going to be kind of a... This will be kind of a interesting thing. I wonder if I can get away with just dropping 2 bombs on one of them and 1 bomb on another. That's what we're going to try. We're not going to go for the heavy cruisers as much as I would like to, but okay, no, think, Tortuga, think. If we eliminate the heavy cruisers, and I'm thinking, let's change it to eliminate the Mogami here. If we eliminate the Mogami, we can win a surface engagement. That's the new strategy. I just think that makes a whole lot of sense. Eliminate the threat and then let my cruiser force take care of the rest. Okay, well, here we go. Speed up time again. I assume that we're getting to altitude. Yeah, we're almost there. And then once we get a little bit closer, go ahead and slow down. We are going to be targeting the Mogami. Wow, that's just insane. Let's slow way down. Okay, so I want to form up again in line ahead. I don't think we have to do anything. We don't need to do an all drop. I can do a single drop at a time as they each go over the target. So that's what I plan to do. And that'll make this also very quick, which is nice. We can just very quickly get this done. Before I forget, I do want all aircraft to open their bomb base. And you can see the Mogami starting to turn, so we might have to take some evasive action here ourselves. Yep, we get some flak coming in. Okay, let's see. Did I overshoot already? Let's drop number 1's bombs. Two, target. Ugh. Well, I messed this one up, didn't I? Or did I? Haha! Okay, we're micromanaging a bit. I didn't want it to come to this, but it did. Target Mogami. Straighten. See, you can see it, the orders are definitely confusing down here, but I think this is good. Okay, you can drop now. And that gives us 3. Alright, let's see how that works. Now let's get all these to form back up on 1. Form up, maximum speed, head north. Alright, let's see what happens. So good luck. We'll just kind of watch the chaos down here. It's a pretty wide target, so there's some hope. Oh, got 2 misses so far. Oh, we got a hit. Another hit, another hit. Okay, so we got 4 of our 6 bombs are hits. Now all that is left, and I would say AP is almost certainly the better option here. But that's, you know, and I'm glad we missed with some of our bombs. I'm kind of happy. I mean, we could have done it perfectly and not missed, but just, I don't want it to be the old Tortuga fashion, the old Tortuga modus operandi is to be ultra super min-max efficient. Every now and then I like to toss that, just roleplay a little bit. So we have fire starting off. I do want to kind of watch what happens to the Mogami here. I'm interested in knowing, are the fires going to take her? Oh wow, she's sinking. So it looks like you only need two planes worth of high explosives to take care of a heavy cruiser. Now, it would have been possible for me to also do some damage to the Furitaka knowing that, but I'm not that concerned, frankly. I'm much more concerned with eliminating the Mogami. I mean, just, she has 5 guns. She's not going to be fun to play with. However, the Furitaka, it's a little bit easier to deal with. So Furitaka, Mogami, just, she has 10 main guns, 10 8-inch main guns. Furitaka has 6. It's a pretty straightforward calculation here. Anyways, that's enough for this battle. So we can retreat out. Another thing, by the way, is I think that you can actually get some... See, C-State 6, I bet you that if we hung around for long enough, we might even see some of the destroyers sink. Because C-State 6 is enough that you can actually get flooding on your destroyers, which I've seen myself. And that can, so it's like almost, if we just stick around long enough, maybe more of the Japanese ships will sink. We don't know for sure what was the reason why one of the destroyers sank. I think it was against the other group, the one where we saw 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, and 1 destroyer. Remember, that was the one where I just obliterated one of the ships. It left on fire with heavy damage, but nothing came of that because one of the destroyer sank, and I thought that couldn't have been anything but the heavy cruiser. It was a destroyer randomly sinking. So that could have been because of heavy flooding, or that could have been because one of the heavy cruisers appeared to have collided with the destroyer on the minimap, and then it just immediately sank. So maybe if a destroyer turns over too much, that's another way for them to sink. Anyway, I guess we can save the rest of this. Just let them keep going on their way. I'm not looking forward to long lance torpedoes in the night, but I guess it's only fair that we deal with them, right? So, here we go. Alright, so another 15 command points given for sinking the Mogami. Yeah, I mean, these Mogamis, what are those, 30 points? 28 points? It must be 30 points. Alright, so you may RTB since there's no point in you sticking around at this point. And it's very nice to see that these are still intact, ready to go. We'll send our Dauntlesses over there, scour the area for any other potential threats, but then move on in and hopefully get a strike in before nightfall. Okay, this is the other one, and we left nothing but the merchants here. Again, the perfect target. First of all, kind of the perfect target for the Triton, but she's going to miss her. Although I will maybe swing a little bit more east to cover a little bit more than that. Okay, moving on. But this is a perfect target for our cruisers. Enterprise can launch aircraft. I guess we can launch another set of Wildcats. We just want to really heavily patrol this area, and you know, we can use waypoints again. So that's kind of nice. Something like this. It's really helpful to be able to use waypoints, let me tell you. Enterprise can kill... Well, you know what? It's not a bad time to launch all of her airplanes. It's going to be dark pretty soon, so I guess we do want to, as much as possible, we would like to know what is the tactical situation. Well, I guess strategic situation. We just want to know if there's any other ships around before the lights go out. Maybe something at an odd angle, like this. Okay, now although I don't think we need our Wildcats, I would be happy to launch more for more scouting. Probably be better for us to do that scouting with all the aircraft we have aboard this task force. So let's get you to maybe navigate this way. That's a little bit too much. Redo that. Kind of check our eastern flank. Make sure we're not going to find anything we don't like over this way. And once those guys disappear a little bit, I can grab the next float plane from the Philadelphia. Oh, well, how about the Brooklyn then? And have her maybe scurry up this way. And we'll have her kind of make an outer patrol. Let her go a little bit. Philadelphia is ready to launch. Okay, that's fine. We'll do the Indianapolis next, though. She only has one, so we'll leave that. I think the Portland only has one as well. Yeah. So yeah, we will go back to one of the other ones then. Philadelphia. I like to leave one, I don't know why, just for like an emergency. And this one we want to do the inner track. So have you pretty much cut this pretty close. Just give us the inner track. Okay, very good. So that'll be good scouting all around this area. We shouldn't be missing anything that's happening east of Guadalcanal. Which, you know, is not the way these things always work, right? What I want and what I get can be wildly different things. Anyways, our Dauntless is approaching this target. Looks good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and make this tactical battle. Start. Let's can I actually set their altitude pre? Did they start that high? No. They just ignore that. Alright, well, we're going to do some more level bombing, I think. Well, this one I don't think we need to, actually. Let me belay that. Go up to 4,000. We might take a few more casualties, but I think it'll be a little bit more realistic. Our night operations will soon end. We're going to take the Enterprise out of here. So for once, we can be a little bit more realistic with our encounter here. Although we really desperately need to sink both of these in order to have like a better nighttime fight. So let's have these guys break and form up. So I have two groups of 3. Pretty obvious here. I think what we're going to end up doing. Yeah, I mean, if I cheesed it, we would certainly get 2 more kills. Let me also identify what these 2 are exactly. And wait, yeah, this one is like should be on its last limbs. I'm gonna change back. I actually want... Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I think this won't necessarily make people extremely happy. I won't be doing this for much longer, knock on wood, or, you know, call me a politician if I'm a liar. Oh no. I hope this isn't the 000 bug. It isn't. Okay, good. So what we have here is a mess of a situation. We're going to get them up to 8,000. We're going to do it. We're going to cheese. 8,000. So we just need 2. We just need 2, I think, bomb hits on the wounded one. Oh, what the hell? No. 5 and 6 form up. Who's out of here? 3? 3. Okay, well, you can go down this way, I guess. Wasn't the way I intended it to be, but that's okay. And get yourself up to 8,000. If it's any consolation, I'm not, like, convinced this is the best way of playing. I'm just not yet sure. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about losing the campaign, essentially, because we didn't take advantage of this. But I think we'll be okay. Anyway, we can speed up time a little bit. Watch the... Wait, we should first identify these ships. I don't remember what they are anymore. This one is not... What are you? Are you a... Tome? No, definitely not a Tone. No. Okay, you could be a Takao. But you aren't. You could be a Miyoko. It does look like you're a Miyoko. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and identify you as such. Oh gosh. Well, the collision avoidance algorithms aren't working perfectly quite yet, I guess. It's also gonna make my life hell trying to bomb these guys if they're all running into each other. Hey, if this is the only way we can get them to do like evasive maneuvers, I'm okay with it. Are you also a Miyoko? Huh, you are. Yeah, okay, I see. I actually seem to recall that now, so this makes sense. We're getting good reports. Alright, so 3, come up this way. You're lagging a little bit behind. 5 does need to kind of patrol out of the way a little bit. And then 1, what are you doing? You need to cut your movement down a little bit. Let's see how this does for us. Oh yeah, this is very strange. This Miyoko's going off at a weird angle now. It's actually going to be really hard to level bomb her, I think. Well, how do we deal with this? This is the wounded one? I can't tell. I can't tell if that's fire or just the way she's supposed to look a little bit worn. Should know. Okay, yeah, that was definitely the one that had been hit. So 2 is the one that needs 4 dive bombers on her. And because the Miyoko is actually... I might do a dive bombing run directly. So let's have 5 and 6 just dive bomber. So they'll do some loops, they'll come around, and they'll do their thing eventually. So we might lose one of them. But as a compromise, I think that's a fair way of doing it. In the meantime... And Miyoko looks like she's turning south to her starboard, to the right. Alright, so we'll very soon be hit by some flak, I'm guessing. Somewhere to our left and front, there they are our friendlies. Yeah, she's turning. It is cool, the Miyoko is taking evasive action. Not really in the way I expected, but still something. Okay. Slow way down. Prepare to drop. Here we go again. Okay, all dropped. 3, 4. We are taking flak up here. They're making their run, so we'll be over just in time to see that happen, which is good. Okay. 3, 4. I'll drop. Alright, so that's this shenanigans out of the way. 1, just continue to head this way. 3, just continue to head this way. Let's get over to 5, and we'll watch in the distance. Oh, that's way too distant. Okay. Oh, these are actually hits. Okay, well she's getting hit. Let's see what the action is. Oh wow, we just dropped bombs there too. Okay, well, explosions with a little. I think that those were 2 good hits. And in the distance, we can't see the dive bombers, but I can see the enemy Miyoko, the other one. Other bombs should be impacting pretty soon here. Oh yeah, that was beautiful. We didn't get it from the upper arrow. The reason why you see those 2Ds is because they have it built as 0 degrees, like just perfectly vertical. So the more vertical you are, the more obvious that becomes. But that looked really cool. Now, we're going to want to know what goes on over there, but first, it's time to see what happens with our... Oh god, my formation is wrong. It's not too late to form up line abreast. Oh god, that's the wrong people. Alright, they're going to do it just in time. Even if you're going max speed, by the way, they can exceed their max speed just for the ability to do formation stuff. So we're coming in. Bombs away. Alright, that was cool. We'll see how she does with those. Now, I do want to control these and try to prevent them from dying too much. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, raise altitude. And then, yeah, again, this is just not the way you would do it normally, of course, but the way we can do it because you can speed up and climb at the same time in this game. Just the way it is. This was so successful that I even think if we want, we can come back in with a strafing run. Not that I would do that against the cruisers, but first of all, let's just kind of admire our handiwork for a moment. And before I do that, let's just make sure I have some patrols around so these guys don't wander off the screen. And 5 and 6 are the only ones who can wander off the screen. Well, at least 5 can. 6, let's put you on your own formation. Okay, now get me over to the action, which presumably is the sinking ships. Okay, so she has a fire still on her forward section. Still turning. I wonder. We didn't do any damage back here, so I wonder why she's turning the direction she is. Sitting a bit low in the water, and there she goes. So bombs are just extremely effective. And definitely everything sinks way too quickly. I don't know if this one's going to make it either, to be honest. I think we may have a solid mission accomplished here. But she doesn't look like she... I mean, just... What happened with... What did I actually do to this Miyoko? Oh, I saw secondaries. Did she get hit by torpedoes? No, she was also hit by bombs. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure that if I had let her keep burning in the last one, that she would have just died. So her firefighting efficiency should be worse. It just depends on whether or not we started enough fires simultaneously. That secondary does give me hope that the answer is in the affirmative. If you don't mind, I'm just going to go ahead and speed up time here while we watch the fate of this ship. Her crew right now fighting ferociously to contain the fires, which right now are all underneath the deck. That doesn't make them any less dangerous. In some cases, it makes them more dangerous. Okay, we're starting to see some fires spread to the deck. That is definitely not a good sign for her. And of course, a good sign for us. And this time, if I get my ship sunk thing, I know if it doesn't say Miyoko, it's not the correct ship. So I don't think... I'm not sure what a strafing run would do on the Miyoko. If we could start any fires... Oh, wow. Okay, so she has some fires starting right below her... right on her turrets, which is a... I mean, she's going to have to flood her magazines. This is really not good. In fact, that might have been the explosion we saw. There were no surface fires, so that shouldn't have been a Oh, 5 has left the engagement. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Five was not going to be part of any future strafing operations. So yeah, with the fire, I'm like, and people mentioned that there is a small chance that when you leave a battle, if the enemy ship is on fire, that they will be scuttled by the enemy. Somebody else was kind enough to comment about the percentage, like just the low percentage chance of that happening. Apparently, it's only a reasonable chance if the damage to both flooding and structure is critical, which is pretty difficult to get without already having sunk the ship. And with the fires, a ship which is still on fire with both critical flooding and critical damage is probably completely incapable of saving herself. Now, what I'd like to roleplay here is that this Miyoko captain is trying to beach herself. And what do you know? Beaching herself on Savo Island. A very famous playground from the Guadalcanal campaign. Anyway, despite my thinking that maybe she'd go down, we aren't getting any further indications that that might be the case. Okay, let me combine up with 6. Maybe get 3 in here as well. So 6, you're actually gonna have to... Oh, anyway, you can come down a little bit. I'm gonna have them all reform up because I want to see what happens here. In fact, what I ought to do is maybe just pause, cut away. Oh, it looks like her fires are completely contained. Okay, so this is the Miracle Miyoko. The Miyoko, oh no, that just won't die. Well, before I deliver any more bad puns, I think it's time for us to get out of this action, so go ahead and leave. Yeah, heavy damage and only moderate flooding. This can't be her. In fact, there was minor damage on the light cruiser? Huh. That is certainly a mystery. And, I thought the flooding was actually worse last time. Am I getting my ships confused? I don't know. I really don't know. Well, that was a pretty successful little run of things, though. I feel like it could have gone better if that other one had sunk, which I certainly did expect it would. But that's okay, it should be a very damaged ship, and I'm still hoping that the Portland and Indy, let's hope that they can get the job done for us. They will have the support of 2 light cruisers, which are actually fairly competent fighters, the Brooklyn and Philadelphia. Of course, we have the Bagley and the Blue along for the ride, although somebody has mentioned that some of the destroyers have Farragut. Who has the Mark 15 Farragut? Oh god, sorry. Farragut, Porter, man. Wait, they all have the Mark 15. Huh. Okay, well, that's fine. It's terrible, but it's, not something that we have a choice about. So for now, let's call this video to a close. I'll catch you back for the next episode. Until then, thanks for watching, stay safe, and take care.